I could literally just end the video there. And that would be your Monday Night Raw review. It wasn't a good show. It wasn't a bad show. It was just one of these. A Brother Nero. It was one of those shows. Putting me to sleep again for a second week. Listen, it wasn't a bad show. Monday Night Raw was not a bad show. It was just a typical Monday Night Raw episode. I don't know what you guys want me to explain to you. I'm going to go over everything. Obviously, there was two big segments tonight that happened with The Shield and then John Cena and AJ Styles. And then the opening of the show, which was very entertaining and something that WWE needs to capitalize on heading into SummerSlam. And I've been saying this for months. They need to capitalize on what we've seen in the beginning of this show. No question. And if they don't, they're a bunch of fucking fools. But before we get into the Monday Night Raw review, guys, normally, I don't have people coming to me on Twitter wanting to be called a goon. Today might be that first time ever. OkayFabe. He's in the community. He's a small channel. He's a very, very down-to-earth, cool dude. One of the most genuine guys you'll see in the YWC. He reaches out to me on Twitter and says, JD, it's my birthday. And all I want for my birthday is for you to call me a fucking goon. That's all he wants. That's all he wants, man. And I would never deny anyone such an honor to be a fucking goon. Now, I label people goons because the way you come at me, the way that you're confrontational, the way that you take every fucking word that I say, the mere fact that you hang from every word that comes out of my mouth, the mere fact that people are blocked for well over a year and still to this day continue to hang from my fucking nutsack. Those are the people that are goons. But OkayFabe, on his birthday, wants to be called a goon. So this is what I want you to do. Before we talk about Monday Night Raw, or the lack of Monday Night Raw, because there was so much other shit going on tonight, I'm going to leave his YouTube and his Twitter down below. I want you guys to go follow and subscribe, because I said so. And OkayFabe, I want you to have a very, very happy birthday. I want you to have several cold beverages, okay? I want you to make the best that you can of this day. And I want to induct you. And I want to firsthand purchase your ticket. First class to Goon City. OkayFabe, you fucking goon. Happy birthday. There you go. There you go, man. I would never deny anybody goon status. There you go. Anyway, man, Monday Night Raw, June 13th, 2016. There was so much other shit going on. Right now, we're heading into the third quarter, as I record this, of the NBA Finals, in which LeBron will choke. And then we had E3 all day today. Sony had their press conference tonight at 9 o'clock, and WWE countered with Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose, The Shield, in a very, very well done segment, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But there was so much going on tonight, and Monday Night Raw and WWE needed to come out on fire for Money in the Bank. Because Money in the Bank right now, you know, if I hear Michael Cole say one more fucking time this is going to be the greatest Money in the Bank of all time, or John Cena versus AJ Styles, a dream match 15 years in the making, give me a fucking break. The night that I had with your fucking mother last night was 15 years in the fucking making. Fucking AJ Styles versus John Cena. And the Money in the Bank being the best of all time. Listen, are you Nostradamus? Can you predict what's going to happen at Money in the Bank? I mean, you're jumping the gun a little bit there, Cole. You know? WWE never has anything all wrapped up, looking pretty with a fucking nice bow on top, ready to present to the fucking audience. It's never like that. Most of the time, WWE goes into these things, and it's like, what a shit show. Let's come on YouTube and fucking bitch and moan about it. Never, never ever, ever, ever go into a show and say, this is going to be a fantastic, it's going to be great, it's going to be great. Can't do that. You can't do that, man. And I highly doubt that this show is going to top what CM Punk and John Cena did when CM Punk's contract was up and he walked out of Chicago with the WWE Championship. I don't think any of the build that we've seen this year or the show that's going to happen on Sunday is going to rival that one. It's impossible. It's impossible. That was one of the most organic, fucking real-life things that could have happened on WWE television, and WWE took a real-life instance, played it off on television, got everybody talking, got everybody hyped, and it was fucking amazing. It led to one of the best moments in the history of Monday Night Raw. It led to an unbelievable match with John Cena, and it led to an unbelievable moment in which CM Punk walked out in his hometown with the WWE Championship, only to fucking take a picture of it on Twitter and put the title in his refrigerator. Those things happened. Not going to top that night. Sorry. But, I mean, WWE, why would they ever mention that? One of the most iconic moments at Money in the Bank pay-per-view history. Why the fuck would they mention any of that? You know? We got to live in the moment now. We got to live in the fucking, in the John Cena, AJ Styles moment. We got to live in the new era. So, Michael Cole, you're already fucking making yourself look like a clown just based off those statements that you're being fed to from Vince McMahon in gorilla position. So, enough of that bullshit. But Monday Night Raw tonight, it didn't do anything to build towards Money in the Bank outside of the big money matches that we're going to see. Obviously, Rollins versus Reigns, and then Cena versus Styles, and we had the tag team match to open up Monday Night Raw, which I might as well start with because that was a very, very interesting promo. Nice little exchange between the New Day and Enzo and Cass. And a fun fact here. You know, the New Day and Enzo and Cass, they are in the top 5. Both teams, along with Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, and Shinsuke Nakamura. Those are the top 5. The top 5 performers. 2 tag teams and 3 solo acts. Top 5 for merchandise sales in WWE. Do you know where Roman Reigns ranks? Do you know where he ranks? 26. 26. What does that tell you? I guess the indie darlings are getting over in WWE, right? But you couldn't tell from, where were they? The Smoothie King Center in New Orleans, Louisiana? I guess everybody was fucking doped up on smoothies to give a reaction to most of anything on this show. Again, you know, crowds make a show. WWE holding their shows in these southern states, doing themselves no favor, leading into a fucking Money in the Bank pay-per-view, which is going to be hot in front of a hot Las Vegas crowd, okay? But you couldn't tell that there was a pay-per-view on Sunday with this fucking crowd and this show. That's it. I think we're seeing less and less wrestling on Monday Night Raw. But again, WWE wants to split the rosters. They're very keen on splitting the rosters. And then the latest rumor going around is that WWE wants to hold 2 pay-per-views per month. 2 pay-per-views per month, which you guys bombarded my Twitter with. JD, what do you think of this? Of course, you should all know my fucking opinion if you know how I feel about the draft and the brand split. 2 pay-per-views per month. Do you understand that it will be overkill for WWE? They can barely book Monday Night Raw with a fucking full roster. They can barely make you care about a pay-per-view with a full roster and a single pay-per-view per month. But no, you people are all excited about 2 fucking pay-per-views, one for Raw, one for SmackDown, when they can barely do 1 pay-per-view with a full fucking roster. Now, what did I tell you guys last week? The only people that are out right now are Bray Wyatt, who we didn't see tonight, so I'm going with Kevin Owens at Money in the Bank, Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, and Neville. 3 guys who are not Impact players. Randy Orton, obviously, he's a big name, but he's not a make-or-break talent for Monday Night Raw. If Randy Orton went down with an injury, it's not going to cripple Monday Night Raw. Obviously, Bray Wyatt is not in that league at all because you barely even notice he's gone. You know, people want to see him because people want to see him get what he deserves. He's a hardworking guy. He's got a great character, great gimmick, and he's over. People want to see him succeed. And Neville, WWE really hasn't done anything with Neville since he's come up from NXT. 3 guys who are not make or break talents. Look at what they have right now. They have 95% of a roster, and yet they can't even book a pay-per-view correctly. Everything about WWE pay-per-views, and it's evident by the build on this show and leading into Money in the Bank, just like it is for Money in the Bank. It's like that for every other fucking pay-per-view before it. WWE doesn't give a shit about its undercard. They don't give a shit about the undercard. They only give a shit and they only build towards the big matches that are highlighted at the pay-per-view on these Monday Night Raws. Nothing else was of importance for this pay-per-view on this show. Nothing outside Cena Styles, nothing outside Roman and Seth, nothing outside the Tag Team Championship. Nothing. I don't even know what else is happening on the pay-per-view. Titus O'Neil, he got his ass kicked tonight. You know, that was a nice little segment, but does anybody care? No. Nobody cares. See, it seems like WWE, and let me tell you, 1 week, 2 weeks, out of 4 or 5 weeks build towards a pay-per-view, not going to make anybody fucking care. You know? It's just going to happen, and then people are going to watch, and then after it's over, it's going to be forgotten just as quickly. Nobody gives a shit. WWE puts all their energy into the big matches that they highlight for these pay-per-views, and they forget everything else. That's a fucking problem. But everybody wants to come at me and say, oh, this could be good. No, the only thing good about 2 pay-per-views per month is the growth and the views and the money I will make off videos and the channel growth that will happen for me with 2 pay-per-views per month. It'll be good for me. It'll be good for Cronin, you know? But it's not going to be good for WWE because WWE will quickly run out of ideas. Things will be overkill. Feuds will be repetitive and happen over and over and over again. It's not a good look for WWE. Having 2 pay-per-views per month will cripple the fucking product. I don't even want a brand split to happen in the first place. Now you're talking about 2 titles, 2 mid-card titles, 2 tag titles, 2 women's titles, 2 fucking shows separate from one another, and now 2 pay-per-views? Give me a fucking break. It's not a good look for WWE. You can't even get the things done right now the way they're supposed to be done. Now you want to split everything and fucking double the workload for everybody involved, creative, upper management, talent? Come on, bro. What happened with the last fucking draft and the brand split? You had SmackDown pay-per-views, which were nothing more than fucking glorified superstars on pay-per-view. And the same thing happened with Monday Night Raw. You had the top match, which everybody gave a shit about, and then you had 6 or 7 matches below that nobody gave a fuck about. Undercard matches that were complete fucking garbage. And that's why the brand split the first time around failed. But everybody wants to see it happen again. Will WWE learn from their mistakes? Do they ever? No. They never learn from their mistakes. They always want to do things because they don't give a shit. They want to do it because they want to do it. They don't think about the consequences. They don't think about the repercussions. They don't think about anybody on the fucking roster. All they think about is how many subscriptions is this going to sell? Blah, 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 merchandise sales, ticket sales, 2 tours, and added 300 dates per year touring, more revenue. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. Adding another hour to fucking SmackDown. You got 3 hours of Raw, 3 hours of SmackDown, 1 hour of NXT. Then you got 2 pay-per-views per month. You out of your fucking mind? I may have to quit my job for real to cover WWE in 1 single week. I won't be able to do it. I will not be able to do it as a content creator. And us as fans will not be able to ingest and digest WWE content like that all week. Can you imagine? Week to week. 3 hours of Raw, 3 hours of SmackDown, 1 hour of NXT. And then 2 pay-per-views? What are you going to name the pay-per-views? That's probably the most important thing, in my opinion. What are you going to name the pay-per-views? Money in the Bank Red and Money in the Bank Blue? You're going to have 2 Money in the Bank pay-per-views per month? Or you're going to differentiate the pay-per-views and give Raw separate pay-per-views that are only for them, and you're going to give SmackDown pay-per-views, the ones that you got rid of years ago. Armageddon and Bash at the Beach, Elimination Chamber, King of the Ring. Yeah, make one brand completely superior over the other. This is going to be a complete flop. A complete fucking flop. I don't understand how anybody can think this is good. And listen, I am not being negative for the sake of being negative. I'm being a realist here. I'm speaking the mind of a WWE fan who's concerned. Now, that doesn't mean that I think that everything's going to be negative. There's going to be talent here that's going to flourish, and talent is going to be benefited because of a brand split. Tyler Breeze, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Neville, guys like that, Cesaro, Del Rio. Those guys will thrive away from a loaded show with a Cena and a Reigns and a Rollins and this and that and this and that. If they're on a show and they get pushed more and they automatically move up the ladder because those certain guys are not on that show and they're specifically to their own show, more opportunity creates more stars, creates more time for championships for those deserving guys, a Bray Wyatt, you know. But it seems like WWE is trying to fit everything about this concept, which should at least be 2 or 3 years to think about and plan out with ideas and ideas and ideas, and they're stuffing all of this into a fucking 2-month, 3-month period. Not going to work that way. You're going to rush everything and you're going to fucking unload everything on the universe in such a short time. It will backfire and it will blow up in your face. That is why I'm concerned. Naming pay-per-views, the amount of content we are going to get as fans each and every week, the amount of content that I'm surely going to be overwhelmed with covering Raw, covering SmackDown, covering NXT for a fucking podcast on iTunes, 2 pay-per-views per month, on top of all the other WWE content that I want to get out that I can't get out, you know, on a weekly basis. 2K16, 2K17 coming up, social media comments that you guys are fucking begging me for. I can't do it. I can't do it. WWE is going to overload everybody, and they're going to drive people away because people are going to get tired. People are not going to want to watch because they're excited to watch. If it becomes a chore to watch, that's when things going downhill very, very fast. You have to make people interested in watching. You have to give the people something that they want. Something that they want to see. What is the fucking saying? Quality over quantity. That's why certain channels, you know, when they get to a certain stage in growth, you know, young channels like me, 2, 3 uploads sometimes a day. When you get to a fucking 100, 200, 300,000 sub channel and you're growing, 1 video per day will do. Right now, channels like mine and channels like everybody else in the community my size, they want to get their name, their brand, and their content out there. And it's very, very helpful to upload 2, 3 videos a day sometimes. Sometimes I stick it to 1 because I don't have time. Sometimes I stick it to 1 because I know that I uploaded a little bit too often the last couple of days and I want to kind of slow it down. I don't want to spam you guys. But as I grow and as I continue to grow, and when I get to that level, I'm not going to overload you with content. 1 video per day, which means more quality content for you and less spam in the sub box. And the same thing would work for WWE. Less is more. This is why NXT is such a great fucking brand. 1 hour a week. 1 hour a week. And we always want more. When Takeover happens, 2 hours on the network. And every time Takeover goes off the air, we always want more. If you leave people feeling that way, of wanting more, when a show ends, you have a fan. You have someone who's going to be loyal and dedicated to your product. You have someone who's going to watch next week. We all watch week after week after week out of habit. Right now, it's just out of habit. We don't know anything else. It's a fucking routine. Every Monday, every Thursday, every Sunday when there's a pay-per-view, every Wednesday for NXT. But if you leave people wanting more at the end of a show, like we all are after Takeover, that's the best fucking feeling that the WWE can give to a fan. That's what you want to strive for. If you're going to overload talent and overload fucking content on a weekly basis to everybody, 3 hours, 1 hour, 2 pay-per-views, people are going to get tired, they're not going to watch, and they're going to find other things to keep them occupied. And then you're going to lose viewers, you're going to lose subs. It's just a downward fucking spiral. Not good. So that's my thoughts on that. You know, that's my thoughts on the pay-per-view. And I'll probably go over again on Off the Script. But you guys have been asking me for it, and I figured tonight would be a great time to talk about that. Because I haven't done it. It's just too much. It's too much. And this is why Money in the Bank, like I stated, WWE can't even book a show now with a 95% full roster correctly. We don't know what else is on this show. We don't give a shit about what else is on this show besides Cena Styles and the WWE Championship match and the Tag Team title match. There's nothing else happening on this show. Nobody gives a shit about anything else on this show. So, number one, how do you think they're going to do with split rosters in 2 pay-per-views? Number two, I don't know where Michael Cole gets the fucking saying of the greatest Money in the Bank pay-per-view of all time. Hasn't even happened yet. And you got 3 fucking matches that you've promoted for a 3-hour pay-per-view. Is each match going to be an hour? Because if not going to be better than the Punk Cena storyline that happened in Money in the Bank a couple of years back. Not. So, enough with this shit already. WWE is in some serious fucking trouble. All the hype and all the fucking build and all the fucking excitement around this July 18th draft, it's all going to go away after we see what is to come. I told you, I was right about Roman Reigns winning the WWE Championship. Everybody's like, oh, JD is so fucking negative about it. He's going against the WWE again. Fuck you. Get cancer. Kill yourself. This was a great Raw. What happened after that? Please, I'd love for someone to elaborate. What happened when Roman Reigns won the WWE Championship? Right before the Royal Rumble. Turn of the new year, and he won the WWE Championship on Raw. He beat Sheamus. What happened? What happened? He was booked like trash. Monday Night Raw didn't put on one single goddamn fucking show worth anything leading up to WrestleMania. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I knew what would happen. And it all led to one of the worst WWE Championship matches at WrestleMania in 32 fucking years. I was right, and everybody else who disagreed with me was wrong. That show did more damage than anything. And I'm telling you right now, when the draft happens, it's going to start off great, and then within 6 months, everybody's going to be like, this shit sucks. I guarantee you. And I'll be sitting here again. You can listen to the fucking June 13th edition of Monday Night Raw Review and say, you know what? JD was right again. Can't even book Monday Night Raw correctly for a 3-hour fucking show on June 13th with a full fucking roster. You think WWE's going to do anything with their fucking split rosters and 3 hours of programming? You think they're going to do it better? Give me a fucking break. You are a delusional fucking idiot if you think that's the case. 2 titles, 2 this, 2 that, 2 blowjobs from your fucking grandmother last night. Give me a break. 2. They're going to do you to death. But no, everything's going to be alright. As long as Kevin Owens gets a world championship. If it's not the WWE championship, who gives a fuck? Seriously. I can go on and on about this. I can go on and on. Might as well talk about this instead of Monday Night Raw. Nothing happened on this show outside of 2 segments. Might as well talk about Monday Night Raw before I fucking sit here for an hour bitching and moaning. Which I usually do anyway. Anyway, Enzo and Cass, they come out. And like I've been saying again, and I know I'm right on this. Hopefully WWE takes advantage of it. You got the New Day and you got Enzo and Cass in the opening of the show. Money. I see dollar signs. There was dollar signs in my eyes watching this fucking segment unfold on Monday Night Raw. If this is not the tag team title match for SummerSlam, that is a missed opportunity for WWE. Seriously. If this does not happen, they have fucking passed on one of the biggest tag team title matches that they could possibly produce in the last 5 years. There's no way around it. This is inevitable for Brooklyn. New Day versus Enzo and Cass. Not only are the promos going to be like we've seen tonight, but after a while, it's going to start becoming competitive. And Enzo and Cass are going to get hungry. And they're going to roll into Brooklyn, and they're going to fucking do exactly what they did in NXT. They're going to fucking shake the foundations of the Barclays Center, and they're going to win the tag team championships. And it's going to be a fucking unbelievable moment. Why would you take away what could be a crowning moment in their careers that they will forever fucking think back upon and not book this match? It makes no sense to me. It really does not make any sense. But the entire interaction with these guys was fucking hilarious. I mean, it was built off Kofi Kingston's white Jerry Seinfeld shoes. And then they talked about blowing Francesca. And they talked about having Francesca and Enzo getting down and dirty the night before. That Enzo had his lips all over Francesca. I mean, what was I watching here? You know? Sexual innuendos in a PG environment on Monday Night Raw. Can't get any better than that. And you got the New York Attitude versus the fucking New Day with their goofiness and their gyrating. It's fucking money, man. It's money. And it needs to happen. This obviously all led to a fucking 8-man tag. Never mind, 6-man tag. It led to a tag team match regardless, whether it was 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It led to a fucking 8-man tag. Teddy Long apparently is still booking Monday Night Raw in spirit. But the winner here was the team of the Club and the Vaudevillains. Club looking strong. In my honest opinion, they look strong here. They will not look strong on the pay-per-view. Though I would not mind them winning the tag team championships, but you got to think ahead. If you got a tag team title plan for SummerSlam, stick with it. And I don't think the Club is going to factor into that at all. Because WWE needs to, right now, concentrate on what is going to make SummerSlam the best SummerSlam card possible. They could potentially make SummerSlam the best SummerSlam ever, if they really want to. Enzo and Cass winning it. The Club doesn't need a tag team title shot now. They don't need the tag team titles right now. When Enzo and Cass win the titles from the New Day and dethrone them from the division that they've held on their back for 290, 300 days now, the Club is going to be the first in line to challenge Enzo and Cass, and that's going to set up yet another great feud. Keep the ball rolling. Keep the ball rolling. That's the idea you got to go with, and that's the plan you got to fucking talk about and make happen at SummerSlam. Club looks strong here. Magic Killer to Kofi Kingston, 13 minutes and 26 seconds. Pretty much setting up their Fatal 4-Way match at Money in the Bank, which is one of the big 3 matches they have promoted on Monday Night Raw for Money in the Bank. Within the first hour, we only got this one match. You know, we got promos, we got fucking Sheamus and Zack Ryder going at it, talking about their match. We got an announcement for Apollo Crews versus Sheamus at Money in the Bank. Darren Young and Bob Backlund with another segment. We got 3 or 4 Shield highlights, highlighting their best moments since, they were together. And we had a Titus O'Neil fucking complete beatdown from Rusev. And this is baby steps for Rusev. I love this. I really did. I don't give a shit about the match. I don't give a shit about Rusev defending the United States title against Titus O'Neil. I don't give a shit about Titus O'Neil, period. I wish I could be Titus O'Neil. Take 60 days off and be suspended for 60 days and come back and get a fucking championship match for the U.S. title. But this builds monsters, slowly but surely. Rusev reminded me of something old school here. He had the accolade on Titus O'Neil, and he beat the shit out of him, kicked him in the back of the head, had the accolade, referees got him off, and he went right back for the accolade. Vicious, brutal. That's exactly how Rusev needs to be built. That's exactly how he needs to be built. Baby steps. And tonight was baby steps in the making to getting this guy right back where he belongs. So that was great. I just don't give a shit about the match. Ambrose Asylum. This was a fantastic segment from Monday Night Raw. Absolutely fantastic. Roman Reigns was not cringeworthy at all. He kept it to a minimum. He spoke the way he should be speaking. Very direct. His facial mannerisms were okay. They were not cringeworthy. I did not turn my head in disgust. I didn't reach for a remote control to change the channel. Though I was still watching E3 on my phone while I was listening to what was going on in the ring because I wanted to see the new Call of Duty Infinite Warfare trailer, which was complete fucking garbage. Anyway, we got new God of War, we got Resident Evil, we got something with Norman Reedus and Hideo Kojima. Bunch of shit coming out, which is very exciting for PlayStation. But regardless of that, this segment was fantastic. Not only does it plant seeds for a potential, and I do think WWE will revisit this because I don't see these guys out of the WWE Championship picture at all. It's always going to be at least Reigns, Rollins, Ambrose is going to weave in and out. This is going to lead to something. I am guaranteeing you this leads to something. Whether it happens at SummerSlam, whether they push it all the way to WrestleMania, WWE is planting seeds for a potential triple threat match between all three of these guys. Ambrose, Reigns, and Rollins. And again, this is money. As I'm watching this, I have money bags in my eyes. This was great. Rollins starts off by pretty much acting friendly and reliving certain moments that they shared together and they had great times together. And then all of a sudden, the entire tone of the segment pretty much went from Reigns to Rollins going back at it. Rollins saying that he's going to take the title back at whatever cost. He never lost it. He did it on his own. Reigns and Ambrose pretty much countering that by Rollins saying that he did it on his own. Okay, J&J Security, Kane, the Authority, and Roman Reigns pretty much comes back and says, yeah, you did it on your own. You cashed in and cheap-shotted me at WrestleMania on your own. Exactly what you did. You know, you destroyed the Shield on your own. You broke up the Brotherhood, the Blood, the fucking two friends that had your back. You did that and destroyed that all on your own. This was fantastic. This was fantastic. It had hints and drops of realism. They built upon the momentum of this match and this feud, and they continued it. The hype that is surrounding this match right now, even though I think Rollins is not walking out the champion, they laid the groundwork based on their history. And WWE did a phenomenal job with all three of these guys just reliving what they were to the WWE. Reliving moments that all three of these guys had leading up to the turncoat, Rollins destroying everything that he built with the Shield. This was fantastic. And at the end of it all, Dean Ambrose, and I'm waiting for it, I'm watching this, and I'm like, when is Ambrose going to come out and say, listen, I could easily walk out the champion, because I can win this fucking briefcase, and I can fucking cash in on whoever the champion is, and I can walk out the WWE champion. And that's exactly what he said. That's exactly what he did at the end of this fucking Ambrose Asylum. He looked up at the briefcase and said, you know, you guys are forgetting one thing. You know, I'm in Money in the Bank. I can do exactly what Rollins did against you guys, either one of you. I don't give a shit who the champion is. I could walk out as champion. And at the end of the segment, Rollins got a Superman punch. Reigns was knocked out of the ring. Or Rollins, was knocked out of the ring. And then Reigns, in the ring, after delivering a Superman punch, Ambrose delivered a Dirty Deeds to Roman Reigns. So Dean Ambrose looked tall. Out of this segment that was supposed to be built on Reigns and Rollins, Dean Ambrose stood tall. That's a nice image going into Money in the Bank. I don't think Ambrose is going to win it. I would be shocked if Ambrose wins it, because I don't think WWE is behind Ambrose. I don't think WWE is going to jump over Kevin Owens to give it to Ambrose. But if WWE gives it to Ambrose and this leads to some very, very intriguing months ahead with all three guys of the Shield, I'm for it. I'm for it. But if it doesn't materialize into a triple threat, I really don't care. You missed the boat on Kevin Owens. I think Kevin Owens is going to win Money in the Bank. He is still my pick. Just that. It's either Ambrose or Owens. I expected Bray Wyatt to come out during the show. He did not. We still have SmackDown. Maybe he is on SmackDown and includes himself as the seventh man, because all six of those guys, again, having a six-man tag on SmackDown. Bray Wyatt, we give him at least till tomorrow night at the tapings to show up. If not, I'm either going with Ambrose or Owens. More than likely, Owens will win Money in the Bank. But this segment was fucking fantastic. Paige versus Charlotte. Paige wins in 2 minutes and 31 seconds with the Rampage. And Charlotte pretty much bitching at Dana Brooke, saying that failing is not an option here, and implies that Dana is her assistant. Dana is, of course, mad, but Charlotte says her payment is to be part of Charlotte's legacy. Ooh, what a payment. You know? So there you go. So that's going to happen at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view as well. It's going to be Becky and Natalya versus Dana and Charlotte. Charlotte is not defending her women's championship at Money in the Bank. More than likely, Sasha is back. She was on Superstars. I believe she fought Summer Rae. She's back in the ring. She wasn't on Monday Night Raw. WWE might be saving her until after Money in the Bank, so we'll see what happens with that. Sheamus versus Zack Ryder. Pretty much a squash match. Bro kick by Sheamus. 1 minute and 53 seconds. This prompted Apollo Crews to come out. And the man wanted to fucking smile up and down, left and right. He was fucking fighting back that big white teeth smile on his fucking face, man. He comes out and he beats up Sheamus and he chases Sheamus off into the crowd. Apparently those two are going to be fighting. He got a nice little reaction. So that should be good for the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Something that I'm interested in to see where Apollo Crews advances on the main roster. That's going to be very interesting to see. So Sheamus versus Apollo Crews at Money in the Bank was announced for Sunday. Sami Zayn versus Cesaro. This was a very nice match for 8 minutes. Sami Zayn beat Cesaro with a sunset bomb. 8 minutes and 6 seconds. This pretty much led to Sami Zayn talking to Shane McMahon after the match. And it was just a clusterfuck for the closing segment of the show, which we'll talk about in a second. But after that, we had the contract signing between John Cena and AJ Styles. This was, again, this has been the best thing on WWE television. Both men thrived in their roles tonight. AJ is so fucking great as a heel. This is the way he should have came into the WWE. John Cena has been on fire since he's come back. Can't wait to see how he is going to be in the ring after taking 7 months off to rehabilitate his injury. This is going to be a great match. Money in the Bank seems to be that pay-per-view which is, quote-unquote, money with money, big feuds, big matches. And this is no different. AJ Styles versus John Cena is going to fucking tear the house down. Crowd's going to go crazy for it. AJ Styles is going to win this first match. And if WWE is smart, they will get 3 matches out of these guys. And it will lead to an eventual SmackDown World Championship between these two guys. Because if they're going to be drafted to the same brand, which I'm assuming they will, because you're not going to have Cena and Reigns on one show, I think AJ Styles versus John Cena in some type of tournament format, fighting for the SmackDown World title, closing that chapter on this feud for the world title would be absolutely phenomenal. AJ Styles pretty much says, again, that he's the indie guy, and that if he was here 15 years ago, that John Cena wouldn't be a 15-time world champion, he wouldn't be the face of the company, and he wouldn't be a 2-time Royal Rumble winner. And then John Cena pretty much tells him to shut up and stop bitching and moaning. All you indie guys are the same, you know. You come into the WWE, you think you're owed the fucking world, and here you are just bitching and moaning, and I'm giving you an opportunity to prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. You talk about 15 years of you being the best wrestler in the world. I'm standing right here. There's 2 fucking contracts in front of you, which I liked. It gave the WWE something different with these fucking monotonous contract signings. It's the same old shit with these contract signings. So they sign the contract, 2 guys go at it. Most of the time someone ends up through a fucking table. But regardless of that, it was a little bit different. Same old shit, but it was great. Great dialogue between 2 guys who have been absolutely on fire the last couple of weeks. The hype for this fucking match is at an all-time high. And one contract stated one-on-one, Cena versus Styles, and the other one was pretty much a handicap match. AJ Styles and the Club versus John Cena. The Club would be allowed at ringside. Cena's like, you can sign that one, but you would wash away everything you just said and prove to me that you are a fucking coward. That you are not as good as you say you are. Or you could sign the one-on-one match and prove to me why you think you should be number 1 in the WWE. Obviously, AJ Styles, after everything John Cena said, signed the one-on-one match, and we have an official match at Money in the Bank. Absolutely great fucking segment, just like it was the week before. These 2 guys are on fire. It's going to steal the show. Going to be the best match of the night, and the one match that I'm looking forward to. Very, very good stuff here. And listen, a lot of you guys are pretty much worried about this match. Everybody's worried about this match because we want to see AJ Styles succeed in the WWE. He's gotten to this point, and we didn't think he was going to get this far so fast. He's number 4 and number 5 in merchandise. He's selling fucking merchandise like crazy. He's got crowd support. Rumors going around that Vince McMahon has got big-time support for AJ Styles. AJ Styles is doing very well for himself right now. Steve Austin even said on his podcast that WWE has a legit fucking number 1 guy in AJ Styles. That AJ Styles carried Roman Reigns through 2 months of fucking programs for that World Championship. And he's right. And he's right. WWE doesn't realize what they have with AJ Styles. They're taking AJ Styles for granted. WWE sees just another indie guy that they signed from New Japan. You know? they don't want to mention TNA, and they will never mention TNA. So all they do is mention Ring of Honor and New Japan. But they got one of the best talents in the world, and I don't think WWE realizes that. With this match at Money in the Bank, this might be the match that opens WWE's eyes. Because not only that, will you have Vince McMahon's support. After Money in the Bank, he's going to have John Cena's support as well, if not already. Going to be a great match. I can't wait to see what happens with that. Kevin Owens and Alberto Del Rio versus the Lucha Dragons. I pretty much zoned out of this match. I was watching YouTube at this point. Kevin Owens versus Lucha Dragons with Del Rio as his tag team partner. Pop-up powerbomb to Sin Cara at 8 minutes and 15 seconds. If Owens and Alberto Del Rio lost, they were going to be out of the Money in the Bank. Who gives a shit? They were not losing this match to begin with. And then the main event, Chris Jericho versus Dean Ambrose. You had fucking Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens on fucking commentary, and you had Alberto Del Rio as the fucking timekeeper, and you had Cesaro as the ring announcer. It was a fucking circus. An absolute fucking circus. Jericho, in the end of this match, he grabs the briefcase, and the highlight of the show there, to close the show, was the spotlight of Jericho holding the Money in the Bank briefcase. Will he win it? Will he win it at Money in the Bank on Sunday? You know, it was just fucking stupid. I mean, Chris Jericho versus Dean Ambrose, didn't we see enough of this shit? Then WWE wants to put it on this show to close the show. They were much better off giving us Bray Wyatt and having the fucking Wyatt family literally destroy everybody at ringside. That would have been a great way to send home everybody from Monday Night Raw. That's how I would have booked it. But WWE must be either saving that or not even doing it at all. But, I mean, what the fuck do I know? I'm just some goon on here who talks WWE. But that's Monday Night Raw, guys. Really wasn't that all exciting. You had the NBA Finals, and you had E3, so there was a lot of other shit going on that caught people's interest. But Monday Night Raw, they built towards the main events of Money in the Bank very well. Everything else, it was just pretty much WWE say, yeah, whatever, you know? That's pretty much what it is, whatever. But AJ Styles, John Cena, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and the tag team match, those are the three big matches at Money in the Bank, and WWE put a lot of time, and it was great. Each one of those segments was great on Monday Night Raw tonight. Everything else was pretty much just whatever. But that's my Monday Night Raw review, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit that thumbs up. I did a TNA Slammiversary review as well. If you guys want to go check that out, link will be down in the description. And everything you guys missed last week, Off the Script, Call of Duty videos, the iTunes podcast. You got Barbershop Window for t-shirts. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to the channel. Wrestle Crate. You guys know the deal, man. Everything you need is linked down below in the description. I'm out. I'm going to get some rest. I'm fucking exhausted. Hope you enjoyed the review. Like I said, hit that thumbs up. I'll be back with more content during the week, man. Money in the Bank week. Going to try and get as much content out to you guys as possible. So make sure you guys keep it right here on my channel. I'm JD. Thank you guys so much. And I'll see you guys later this week for Money in the Bank. I'll talk to you guys later.